Yeah, verse number 12. James 1:12. All right. Now, this is important. Remember, we all face temptation. And we want to overcome temptation. And in order to overcome, we got to take advantage of something God has already done. But we need to understand how to. You go, boy. That's a real usher for you. Just step in. Yeah. You go ahead, boy. Wherever they need him. Hallelujah. Glory. Can you do a solo after we get? All right, never mind. I'm going to leave him alone. James chapter 1, verse number 12. Let's look at this. It says, blessed is the man that endures. Huh? Why does it say that? Because it knows that if you endure, you have taken advantage of what God has done. That's a blessed man. Because he's walking in God's completed work. That's a blessed man. So blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive a crown of life. When he receive a crown of life? When he's tried, not when he get to heaven. What's a crown of life? That means in life I'm a king. Yeah, I said a king. Come on, I'm a king. What you rule over? I rule in life. When temptation comes, do I worry about it? This is common. I'm a son of God. It's beneath me. I'm not going to even speak of the temptation. I'm going to talk about God. All right. When he's tempted, he receives a crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love, what's the other? Worship. Worship him. Won't let anything else take the place in their heart that God is supposed to occupy. Not going to let the pressure of any situation reduce God. So that you're crying about the situation that you're facing. So that you're giving in to the temptation that you're facing. All right. Verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I'm tempted of God. Nobody. For God cannot be tempted with evil. Neither tempteth he any man, you could say, with evil. Right? That's just English language. All right? Verse 14, this is real important right here. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it's finished, it bringeth forth death. Now, the devil don't want you to see. He's the tempter. He does not want you to see to the end of this process. Because if I knew that death was coming, I wouldn't start that way. Come on. If I knew that death was coming, there's a whole lot of things I would not do. But I don't see death. It's a deception. I see I like it. I see it's fun. I see everybody else doing it. The bottom line is this. It says every man, when he's tempted, he's drawn away of his own lust. What that's saying is something on the inside of me really wants to. That's why it's good to just go on and admit if you mess up or you're doing something wrong or you've done something wrong and rather than lying and trying to cover yourself or not telling nobody, trying to hide it, put that thing out in the open. Don't let that thing stay there. I did it. You ought to holler it. I did it. I messed up. Most people trying to save face, trying to look good in front of people. But when you do that, what you do is you allow that little bit of something on the inside of you that really wants to, you allow it to stay there unchecked, unexposed. Says he's drawn away of his own lust. There's something in you that really wants to. And one of the things that we got to do first is just admit, there's something in me that really wanted to. Something in me wanted to see that. But I'm not going to look at that. Something in me really wanted to go with them, but I'm not going. Huh? You got to admit something's wrong. There's really something on the inside that really wanted to go. That's coming clean, man. You can't let that thing stay in you. Because the reason that you're able or the reason that most people fall in the same area over and over again is because they never really admit. They'll say, well, I fail. Well, I didn't really do nothing. I slipped it. You didn't. Come on, you just didn't. You just didn't. I snapped and said, you didn't snap. There's something in you that wanted to tell him. Something there. Something there. Now listen, let me say this because I gotta find a place to unhitch here. That's a false image. See, there's an image of you that tells people off, but the true image of you is someone that is patient and kind. That's what God has made you. So there's this false image. And if you give in to the false image, it's idolatry. And I worship being able to release that and tell somebody and get rid of this pressure. I worship that more than I love God. And it becomes idolatry. Becomes idolatry. We can't give in. We can't. God has made a way of escape. And let me just say this. How did Jesus resist every temptation? With the word. How did he resist it? With the word. But it wasn't just that simple. There was the word in his mouth. Not one time did it say Jesus thought. He said, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes out of the mouth of God. This energizes me. This strengthens me. This makes me bold. And this keeps me standing firm. This word. This word. This word. And that's why, for most people, one of the things we got to fight against most is that little thing in us that don't want us to study the word, don't want us to look at, don't want to hear the word no more. Or if we do, read through as quick as we can. Make it something religious. I just need to get through this. I can read my chapter for the day. Read a devotional for the day. It's not about whether or not you read it. It's about whether or not you love God. Do you see it? It's about whether or not you love God. And understand, every temptation is a challenge against your love for God. And can I get you to love something else more? Or love yourself more? Or love sleep more? And if I love any of those things more, it's a false image. Come on, man, I'm created in the image and likeness of God. Amen. And I got to be determined, man, that everything that I think has to reflect the image and likeness of God. I refuse to give in to a contradiction. I can't say things that contradict the image of God. I can't think things that contradict the image of God. I can't go places that contradict the image of God. Why, you that weak? You came look at it? Stop for a minute. Who you think is saying that? It ain't God. See, man, if we can just get proficient at recognizing the temptation when it comes, we'll overcome a whole lot more. Let's stand to our feet.